The film centers on Lucy, a ruthless and highly successful matchmaker at an exclusive New York agency named Adore. Lucy views dating and marriage as a cynical transactional business, a matter of calculating a person's objective market value based on metrics like age, height, income, body type, and education. She excels at pairing her wealthy, demanding clients, often using blunt, pragmatic language to manage their often unrealistic expectations, as demonstrated when she breaks the news of a rejection to her client Sophie, who is frustrated by the shallow criteria of the men Lucy sets her up with. Lucy's colleagues at Adore praise her razor-sharp instincts, but they also highlight the difficult nature of their work, especially when dealing with clients who lack standout qualities like Sophie. The conversation among the matchmakers touches on the high value of certain male attributes like height, and even references a cosmetic leg lengthening surgery that can double a man's value in the market. Lucy, despite her professional success, is known among her peers as the eternal bachelorette, a voluntary celibate who claims she's going to die alone or get a rich husband. The movie's central conflict and themes are brought into sharp focus at a lavish wedding where Lucy's successful match Charlotte is marrying Peter. While at the wedding, Lucy recruits new clients, viewing the event as a gold mine. She delivers a cynical yet honest assessment of marriage to a woman contemplating a divorce, telling her that the happy ending to a first date is changing each other's diapers and burying each other. She sees marriage as a quest for a nursing home partner and a grave buddy. In a pivotal scene, Lucy finds Charlotte in a bridal suite suffering from pre-wedding anxiety. Lucy cuts through the emotional turmoil by validating her own cynical view, telling Charlotte that marriage is a business deal and always has been. She pressures Charlotte for the darkest, ugliest part of why she wants to marry Peter. Charlotte tearfully confesses that Peter's high value, his better job, better looks, and height makes her feel valuable by making her sister jealous. Lucy affirms this, concluding, "So this is about value. Peter makes you feel valuable." At the reception, Lucy encounters Harry, the groom's brother, who immediately recognizes her skill as a recruiter. Harry is wealthy, works in private equity for his mother's firm, and is, by Lucy's professional assessment, a unicorn, a perfect package with a high market value. They engage in a flirtatious but deeply cynical exchange about their respective values and views on relationships. Harry's initial approach mirrors a market analysis of Lucy's sales pitch, calling her a luxury good. Lucy, testing his wealth and interest, gives him her number for recruitment, claiming her non-negotiable requirement for a spouse is that they be mind-numbingly, absurdly, achingly rich. Later that night, Lucy runs into her ex-boyfriend John, a struggling actor who works a catering job at the wedding. Their brief conversation is friendly but strained, revealing the reason for their past breakup. After the wedding, John drives Lucy home, and a flashback sequence shows the painful, financially driven implosion of their 5-year relationship. They fight over the high cost of parking and a missed restaurant reservation on their anniversary, with Lucy confessing, "I don't want to hate you because you're poor, but right now I do, and it makes me hate myself." She tells him their relationship failed not because they weren't in love but because they were broke. The flashback solidifies Lucy's professional belief that money and value are the foundation of relationship success. The narrative moves forward with Lucy and Harry dating. Their dates are not about genuine connection but about a mutual intellectual appraisal of each other's assets. Harry, who is older than his typical dates, is initially only interested in younger women in their 20s, but Lucy convinces him to go on a date with her. Their first date is an interview where they exchange personal details, and Lucy observes that Harry's parents, unlike hers, likely never fought about money. On a later date, Lucy pushes Harry to evaluate her as a payout and a grave buddy. She uses her professional criteria to break down her own low market value. She's older than the women he could be dating, a college dropout, a failed actress born and raised poor, and has negative dowry. She concludes that mathematically she's not a girl he should marry, but one he should go home with once and then never call again. Harry responds to her market analysis by saying he's not looking for material assets, which he has plenty of, but for intangible assets, a partner who understands the game and who he can respect and trust. He praises her as a good investment that will only get sharper. He admits he sees value in her and believes they can make great partners, offering himself as a man so rich that Lucy can actually stand him. Lucy, emotionally moved and validated, admits that she likes him not for his money but because you make me feel valuable. They solidify their relationship, beginning to sleep together, and Harry discusses taking her on an expensive trip to Iceland. The movie with a professional crisis and a personal choice. Lucy is in Harry's luxurious apartment when she receives a series of phone calls, a voicemail from John inviting her to his play, and a missed call from Sophie. She learns from a colleague that Sophie has not called her back because she's bringing charges against the company. Her date with Mark P., the doctor Lucy had set her up with, assaulted her. The colleague Violet forbids Lucy from contacting Sophie, but Lucy, shocked and needing to understand, attempts to reach her client anyway as she struggles to reconcile her transactional view of dating with the reality of her client's trauma. The film concludes with Lucy's personal and professional principles collapsing in the face of this stark human tragedy, leaving the ultimate fate of her new, purely rational and highly lucrative relationship with Harry uncertain. The film exploring the fallout of Lucy's professional and personal crises, ultimately leading her to reject her cynical transactional view of love. After her client Sophie is assaulted by a man Lucy matched her with, Mark P., Lucy is distraught. Her boss Violet insists that this is a known risk of dating and orders Lucy to do nothing and not speak to Sophie. Violet stresses that a matchmaker can't be held responsible for a client's behavior in an intimate setting. However, Lucy is unable to compartmentalize and feels complicit, believing she is failing her clients by prioritizing market value over character. Lucy's relationship with Harry, the unicorn she sought out for his perfect market value, continues its emotionally sterile trajectory. They attend her ex-boyfriend John's avant-garde play. Harry congratulates John, but Lucy is distracted, still reeling from Sophie's assault and questioning her career. She confides in John that she feels she's no longer good at her job, an admission John dismisses, saying that dating is not that serious, a remark Lucy sharply challenges, referencing the inherent risks and consequences. At work, Lucy struggles to manage the expectations of other demanding clients like Patricia and Eleanor, whose criteria include explicit racist preferences, whites only at first, and absurdly specific demands. In a moment of professional breakdown, Lucy scolds Patricia, stating that a door is a scam and a matchmaker cannot build you a man because people come as they are. She confesses to Violet that she hates her clients, viewing them as demanding children, and recognizes that she is acting as their unqualified therapist. Violet, seeing Lucy's burnout, forces her to take a 4-week break just as news arrives of another successful match by a colleague. Ignoring Violet's orders, Lucy tracks down Sophie. Sophie is understandably furious, tearfully accusing Lucy of thinking she was worthless merchandise to be pawned off to anyone. She points out that Lucy knew Mark's flawed metrics, his lying about his height and salary, but failed to know who he was as a person, a gap she painfully discovered on the date. Lucy apologizes profusely, saying she didn't know he was capable of violence, but Sophie rejects her professional platitudes, calling her a pimp. Distraught, Lucy breaks down and calls John. She confesses that she set her client up with a bad person and feels powerless to fix it, admitting she is about to go to Harry's. At Harry's apartment, she discovers his secret. He and his brother underwent leg lengthening surgery to gain 6 inches in height, an investment that changed their lives and significantly increased their value in the dating and professional markets. This revelation, rather than turning her away, ironically makes her feel like she finally knows him. However, it catalyzes her realization that their relationship is purely transactional. Lucy breaks up with Harry, telling him she's not in love with him and he's not in love with her. She states that although marriage is a business deal, love has to be on the table, something neither of them possesses. Harry admits that love feels difficult and makes him feel dumb. Lucy assures him love is easy, no math. Left without an apartment, Lucy spontaneously returns to John, who is living in his famously squalid apartment. John confronts her about her motives, accusing her of using him while she gets over Harry. Lucy admits her flaws, her judgmental nature and materialism, and her past decision to break up with him because he was poor. She confesses that even now she's doing math, weighing being with him against the trade-offs of his financial status. John responds simply, "I just do," when asked why he still loves her. He says his love for her is the easiest thing and presents his final offer, a lifetime guarantee of his unwavering love, his certainty. Lucy accepts with a tearful deal. The film closes with Lucy choosing love over the market. She decides to support John in his career and financial efforts, not for her own benefit but to make him brave enough to admit that "I want to be happy." As they drive away in John's old car, she reflects on the first 2 people who got married, questioning whether their connection was about similar economic background or something like you and me. Lucy receives a call from Violet, who offers her a major promotion to head of the New York office. Lucy reveals she was about to hand in her resignation, telling Violet she might marry someone poor. She quickly helps Sophie, again successfully matching her with a kinder less valued man, and then hangs up on Violet's offer. In the final scene, Lucy asks John, "How would you like to make a very bad financial decision?" solidifying her choice of an honest, loving but economically risky life with him over the cold calculation of her former existence. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.